You're listening to the BTC Racing Line. You are now part of the team.
Hello and welcome to the BTC Racing Line. Thank you very much for listening and for watching. We all should be at Donington Park, but hey, we all know the situation we're in. My name is Rory McAllister and I'm joined by our three drivers. Hello.
Hello.
Hey. So, lads, where are you all right now? I mean, I assume most of you are at home.
Front row. Definitely we're on the front row. Top three, aren't we, boys? We qualified yesterday. Yeah. All in our minds.
Yeah. It looks like you're in some sort of seedy dungeon, though, Rory.
Well, it even has a red light, Creasy, you know? Yeah, I have been locked away, actually. My wife was very much like, well, do you know what? If we're going to do this isolation, then we have to take it seriously. So I just basically live in here. But I have been given water,
mate. You live under the stairs, don't you?
A bit like Harry Potter, yes.
When you be naughty.
Yeah, I've even got the glasses to match as well. So
I live in the bar.
That doesn't surprise me.
Stripper, Creasy. You can't drink paint, stripper.
You can.
So, lads, Josh, we'll start with you. Name, age, and occupation.
My name's Josh. I'm 28, and I am a part-time racing driver.
Tom.
Yes, mate. I'm Tom Chilton. I'm currently just turned 35 years old. I'm a professional racing driver and three kids.
And Creasy.
I'm Michael Crees, 36, and I'm a plumber.
So there we are. There are three drivers in case you'd never met them, because we can't always necessarily automatically assume that everybody knows the sport or necessarily knows who you are. So if you are new to everything, then welcome. We promise you, hopefully, from here on in, it won't always be us just chatting in our bedrooms. So I think we really should address Corona. How have you all been coping so far, Josh?
Well, we've closed down. We've obviously got a business that we work away from racing, which is still involved in motorsport. We've got 5 people that work there. We've had to close that down. I mean, I've still been going in just to make sure that we're still ticking over, but that's purely on my own. Other than that, everybody's in isolation. So it's been fairly boring, especially considering now is the time when we should have been heading to, obviously in this week, heading to Donington and getting our first race underway. It's been hard work, but obviously everybody's in the same boat. We've got a lot of supporters who work for the NHS, if you like, that support BTC racing. So we've been showing our support for them this week, and obviously it's a tough time for everybody.
Indeed, yeah. I mean, it's just weird. Tom, what about you? Did you do the clapping thing on Thursday night?
I did indeed. Yes, I put it on Instagram as well. The missus tried to record it, but she obviously wanted to start clapping, so she's with the phone recording. She's didn't really see me very well. But you did hear a lot of clapping, not just from her, from herself and me, but also the whole of my road. It was incredible. And then, I don't live in the country. I live in a city, and all the
He doesn't. He lives in a palace.
Oh, you live in a bar, mate. But all the roads, you can actually hear the clapping, and it just echoes around the whole of my area. And it was fantastic, the support. And I wanted to clap louder, but my hands just couldn't take it anymore.
Creasy, what about you? I mean, it must have been a party if you were involved.
Yeah, to be fair, it's been all right, actually, because all you do is just basically sit at home, eat and drink. So it's been quite nice. I have actually had to get myself out to do a few runs to shed the few pounds that I've put on, but it's quite cool, really. But no, with work-wise, it's a nightmare, absolute nightmare. So I own a plumbing and heating company, and obviously the building industry has been shut down, which is a massive pain for us, because when that starts happening, it's hard to recover. So I'm not looking forward to that, but yeah, it's we're all in the same boat, aren't we?
Indeed. Do any of you have dogs by any chance?
Yes.
You do, Josh. Is it just you and I then? Is it?
Yeah.
I think for me, that's the one thing I've struggled with in the last couple of days, is now being told that they want us to stay completely near home. We were finding nice places in the country to go and walk the dog, like, you know, completely isolated. Now we walked about 6 miles and saw nobody in the space of 2 hours, and it's just the strangest thing that's going on. But anyway, we should be at Donington. We're not, so we're going to crack on anyway. It's nice to see, Tom, that you've had some sort of dream that had you at pole position, though. Talk us through that.
Dream. Mate, it's race day in my mind. It's race day. I'm in my race kit. I'm ready to go. Got my race boots on the lot.
and you remember that the clocks were going forward.
I did, yes. Yeah, I didn't want to miss race day at all, here on the sofa, talking to you lovely guys.
Creasy, have you ever been caught by the clocks going forward or back?
Well, 100% would have done today. If I was at Donington, I probably would have missed the first race.
Can you imagine? Them all lined up on the grid. Hang on, whoa, wait a second.
Yeah. To be honest, I didn't even remember that, to be fair.
Yeah. So if Tom was pole position, where were you, Creasy? Obviously you were late, but
P15.
No, second, surely. Second.
No, yeah. Well, I did beat him in media day, so you never. I don't know. Can you get any better than pole or not?
Well, I don't know. Dreams can be a strange place.
Late, mate.
Josh, what kind of dream did you have?
You don't want to know. I don't know. I'm looking forward to the first round, whenever that might be.
Everyone's got you as a winner, Josh, for Donington.
Yeah, well, I mean, I said, Josh, I said to you on media day, I'm going to stick a tenner on you. You know, they cut that out of the video, but I did say that. I just think after your performance last season, I think you've got every chance, mate. I really do.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, we had a good year last year. I mean, you look at how late we got the cars from Dynamics. The deal was quite a late one for me. To do what we did with no preseason testing whatsoever was a credit to the whole BTC team. But we could go better. You know, P4 last year, I think we had more wins than the factory Honda team. It just shows what the team are capable of. So the fact that we've actually had some time to do some preseason testing, we can hit the ground running. Got some data that we could work from. Just really want to get out there, but it's like I say, it's just this situation is tough on everybody. But I think that when we get going, we're going to be in a good place.
Well, I hope so, because I mean, nobody really knows how long this is going to go on for. I mean, we've been told now that it's going to go into June, and I suppose once we do get going, I mean, Tom, can you see us even having a full season?
I'm hoping we have a full season because I'm a born racer, mate. All I want to do is race. I can't stand the thought of not actually having 10 rounds, but at the moment, it's been kicked back twice now. Originally, they said we would be racing at Thruxton for round 3. Now it's looking like it's going to be June, and who really knows at the moment? We haven't actually hit the peak of COVID-19 at the moment. They're just opening up the Excel Centre to take on another 1,000 people. When I looked at my phone, literally about 5 days ago, it said we had 300 deaths. We've had now over 1,000 deaths, and it's spiking faster and faster. So we haven't hit the peak yet. So I think if it does actually start in June, I do think we can squeeze it in. It might be pretty hectic, but I do think that Alan Gow, he's incredible. Like, he can make this happen. But I think if we start getting sort of August, if it does get pushed back that late, then I think we will struggle to get 10 rounds in, which will be a real shame. But that's what it is, and this is just us talking about the British Touring Car Championship. There's so many other jobs out there which are on hold, and it's so hard for so many people. I want to race, mate, just like all of us here. We want to go racing. I just hope we can get this all under control and get on with it.
Yeah, and Chrissy, I mean, this must be quite hard for you, being fairly new to it all. As you say, you had a good media day. I'm sure you're ready just to get going.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, buzzing coming off the back of media day, just getting used to the car every time we get in it, and but yeah, like Tom's saying, we've got to find a way to do 10 rounds because it's very difficult for me already. I've lost 3 sponsors already in the last week, and all my sponsors are ringing up saying, what's happening, what's going on. Obviously, we don't know, but we need to either work out how we go into the winter, like push it into a bit into the winter side, maybe November, December, or even have a few rounds before the beginning of the season if we can, and take sort of 2020 into 2021. But we've got to try and do 10 rounds because all these people that make us go racing and pay for us to go racing want to see it. Do you know what I mean?
Indeed, yeah. I mean, and again, and I think once they called the Olympics off as well, that was almost like the last, because you could argue that's the kind of biggest sporting event that is actually.
Well, apart from Alton Park.
Apart from that, of course. Of course.
Mate, that's a great catchment area. That is between Manchester and Liverpool. That is the best catchment area.
I think this is a real opportune moment to try and get to know some of you in terms of just a bit of personality and stuff, because otherwise we'd be right in the thick of it now. We'd be talking about racing. So Josh, your school days, let's go back to those. How would you describe yourself at school?
A nightmare.
Right, okay. Tom, what about you?
Yeah, fine. Everything was great when I was in Reigate Primary School till I was about 13. Close, Josh. Close till I was 13. And then I went to boarding school. Then I was like instantly a little fish in a big pond. And I was a weekly boarder. So I came home every Saturday after games at 4 o'clock. And I went back Sunday night. And I did that for 3 years. And I was actually quite happy to leave Shipplate College, which is near Henley.
I know it, yeah.
Part of the school I loved was rowing. I was on the River Thames. So I did a lot of rowing. I was a very, very strong rower. But I was really happy to leave and study something I really loved, which was motorsport. And I went to Brooklands College to do a BTEC National Diploma in Motorsport Engineering. And I was on my course with other racing drivers like Duncan Tappy and Tom Onslow Cole was a year below me. And a lot of the people in my class are now mechanicking at West Surrey Racing on Colin Turkington's car, mechanicking at Renault Formula One team, and other guys on Red Bull Formula One team, and like all the guys I was in a class with are all racing or top mechanics and top teams. So that for me was my love, really. 17, 18 years old, going to Brooklands College, studying something I absolutely loved, and I built my own car, passed my gas, MIG and TIG welding, did soldering dashboards, you name it, I did it all. I did CAD. Which computer-aided design for those who don't know, and designed lots of pieces and actually built it, and I absolutely loved it. At the time of my life, it's far better than just studying biology and geography at school.
So there you go, kids. That's how you get into the BTCC, and that's how you become a racing driver. Creasy, now,
that's a tough act to follow, isn't it?
It is. And dare I even ask what you were like at school?
Question, why have you put me after Tom?
Deliberately.
Where do I start with school? I've been to a few. I weren't really good at school, to be fair. I was more of a social lad, really, with all the boys playing football at lunch and stuff. But to be honest, I think it's more like, for me, more common sense than academic. But I've done all right.
Yeah, you have indeed. I mean, we all have different paths. It's never necessarily sort of one of those things that's certainly straight laced. Okay, some other things about you then. Tom, biggest bet you've ever laid?
Biggest bet I've ever laid. Oh, mate. I was going to
Josh, Creasy, you can be having to think about yours now. Creasy, I think you're embarrassed already.
I know. So I went to Ascot for the horse racing. I did put £100 down. That's the biggest bet I've ever made. I lost it all. Creasy's thinking that's nothing, mate.
The first time I met Josh's wife was in the casino, or girlfriend, sorry, Steph. Yeah.
There was no bets involved there, though, on who was going to win the lady. Do we, John? Tom, can you remember the name of the horse?
Loser. I lost. Don't know. I can't remember the name of the horse, mate, if I'm honest.
It was that bad.
That bad.
Yeah, there we are.
To just erase it from my mind.
Josh, what about you?
Biggest bet I've ever lost? I don't know. I don't really...
Or just laid down, even. You might have
I had a bet with a guy that works for us, actually, Mike, and I can't remember what the bet was, but the forfeit was had to make tea and coffee for the entire company for a year, and he lost. So he had to do that for a full year, and he did. To be fair, I didn't make a cup of tea or coffee at work for a year. It was good.
Fair play.
Creasy, I mean, dare we even hear your story?
Well, it was a shocker, right? Because we were all on a stag do in Prague, and we were in this quite we were in this really nice establishment, and and there was a casino in there, and but I was so drunk. I was playing roulette, and every spin I was laying down 1,500 quid, right? But what I didn't realise is why I kept losing is they had in Europe they've got 2 zeros, haven't they? So the odds are even worse, and I ended up 7.5 grand down.
10.5 grand down.
7.5.
7.5.
Bad.
But I am a bit of a gambler, to be fair.
But you must have had some bigger wins since then.
Oh, yeah. A few of my mates are professional gamblers. They're putting down crazy money, like 50, 60 grand a bet, stuff like that. But they do it for a living, and they've done all right out of it, to be fair, as well.
Yeah, not everyone does, though, I suppose. That's the... I mean,
No,
certainly me... Yeah, I mean, me, as far as I'm concerned, some of the bets are... Yeah, I mean, we shouldn't even really go into it, to be honest. Now...
good chat. Anyway, let's talk about gambling and alcohol.
Well, Creasy, you are here. You are here after all. What do you think you'd be doing right now? Otherwise, if we weren't here,
I'll be like that probably at turn 1.
Tom, you'd be leading, would you?
Who knows, mate? Who knows? Might stall on the start line. You just don't know, do you? But I'd like to think, as it's 10:30, yeah, we would be getting in the cars, getting ready for race 1. We'd probably be going to the grid in about sort of 5-10 minutes time. We would have already done autograph session. We would have already had an interview with all of us, probably Rory, and I'd be already drinking all my isotonic drinks, ready for hydration and the race and all the usual stuff I have to do. But I'd be in my element, mate, because I'd be at a racetrack, not sat here on my sofa at home on my own.
But by the sounds of it, Rory, I would have failed the breathalyzer test, and me and you would be off down the bookings.
More than likely. I didn't have a drink yesterday, though. I had a complete sober Joe day, to be honest, because I knew I was doing this morning. Josh, what about you? What would you be doing right now?
Probably would have finished my 4th or 5th marathon of the day. Yeah, probably.
Excellent. With or without your dog?
Oh, I would have carried the dog for the first.
Well, Josh, tell the viewers, what's your cat's name?
Alan.
What about the dog? That's brilliant.
Her name's Imola.
Brilliant,
okay.
Good.
And that is a good
Alan's
name.
not a racetrack.
No.
It's great.
Alan Gow.
Alan Gow, yeah. Meow.
Yeah.
Alan Meow. We've had, look, he's in Hawaii now.
Getting burnt.
Now, if for whatever reason you don't have the facility to actually watch what's going on and you can only hear what's going on, we're essentially we're on a Zoom chat and we're just mucking around with the backgrounds, basically.
That's actually just my hair.
That's the Golden Gates. Your golden hair, mate. Yeah.
Has anyone else been there, San Francisco?
Yeah, I stood exactly where Josh was a minute ago for a photo with the car drivers. Yeah, I've stood exactly there for a photo when I was racing at Sonoma Raceway just up the road, which I won in 2013 or something. Yeah.
Hang on, I need to write that down.
No end.
He's a man of many stats, old Thomas.
Yeah.
Oh,
love a stat, mate.
Now he's in space.
He even remembered when I met him as a fan in Brighton.
Yeah, I did.
So, Creasy, the time you met Tom then as a fan.
Well, I was out of my nut with all my mates in Brighton for New Year's Eve. And we were walking down the road and I went, no way, there's Tom Chilton. So we grabbed hold of him in the middle of the street, dragged him into a bar, had a few beers with him, and that was when I was a fan of his.
Yeah, Tom, is that your version of the story as well?
My description is, I was out on the town with my engineer and I was just going down for a social drink and there's this bloke, Creasy, oh, mate. And he was with 15 people, all right? And then they all started going, we know you. We do the scaffolding on your parents' house, which was like literally 30 miles north of here. And I was like, well, this is pretty scary. And how do you know me? Oh, we watched touring cars. Didn't get a chance to say, would you like a drink or not? It was, you're coming this way, mate. I'm in the pit with the piano. Creasy's bought me a drink, trying to get me really drunk. And do you know what? It was so funny. It was so memorable when Michael said to me at the Autosport show, "Do you remember when I met you down in Brighton with all these blokes?" I was like,
years ago, wasn't it? What is it?
Years ago, like 2005.
15 years.
I genuinely remember it to this day because it's one of those memorable moments where I thought these 15 blokes, they could all completely beat me up, take my wallet and my phone. But they didn't. They all bought me drinks. It was a right old laugh, and it was good crack.
If we knew how rich you were now, we probably would have done.
Yeah, we knew going to boarding school.
No, I'm only joking. But it was a great. And if I can find, I always keep my phones, like my phones from ever, and I've got them all somewhere in the loft. And on that phone, I've got a picture of me and you that day we met in Brighton. I have to try and dig it out.
Dig it out. Definitely dig it out. That is great. Yeah, love it.
Josh, have you ever been
what's that, 15 years ago?
It was about 15 years ago, yeah. I was racing in a Honda Civic Arena Motorsport with a Star Wars Lego on it. Yeah, a long time ago.
There you go.
Josh, have you ever been accosted by a fan?
Creasy.
Not Creasy as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Jeff Army must have got you.
Well, yeah, I did get chased around Thruxton by the GF Army. That was quite concerning, and it was quite a heated chase. They were trying to grab hold of me, which was interesting.
That's because they love you, mate. They wanted to shower you and hugs and selfies.
Yeah, it was like that.
And dribble.
COVID-19.
Yeah, that was last year.
It's a kiss.
I ended up having to hide in WSR's garage, but yeah, other than that, not really.
Sounds like you got off lightly then, Josh, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had a better story that I was now racing with a guy that was once my super fan, like Creasy and Tom. But no, I haven't, sadly.
Well, I suppose
He will this year. He He never sees so many fans.
That's because Creasy's bringing all of his mates along.
And you?
Yeah.
You're more popular than me.
We've talked about like if we were at Donington right now, but just because of the situation we're in, and you know, it's a great opportunity to be completely hypothetical. Josh, if you weren't a racing driver, what other sporting profession do you think you'd be in?
Sporting profession?
Yeah.
What would I be? I don't think I'd be in sport as such, although I love sport. It's more of a hobby. I think I'd probably have been a pilot. Maybe I'd try and be a fighter jet pilot. That was something I always wanted to do. But racing is the number one. But had I not been a racing driver, I think I would have gone and done that.
Tom, you wouldn't have been in the Olympic rowing team, would you?
No, I wouldn't have, mate. I think if I wasn't a racing driver, I would be about 34 stone in weight. So I was I was a morbidly obese child, okay, a 44-inch waist, 14 stone 4 when I was 12, 13 years old. Okay, so I was huge. And the only reason I lost weight was because I wanted to be the best in the world at racing cars. And the only way I could do that was by getting fit and focused and everything you have to do to be a professional racing driver. And I genuinely think I'd probably be... I was very good on my saxophone, so I might be playing the saxophone somewhere in a band. Maybe that fat guy at the back playing the old saxophone. I don't know. I like gardening, but I'm not that good at it.
Like a fat Kenny G, really.
Could be, yeah, or fat Stan Getz, anything. Yeah.
I mean, that's incredible. I mean, to look at you now, you would have absolutely no idea.
Thank you, you flirt. So I ate a lot after the end of last year because I wasn't racing. I wasn't sure what I was doing until later on, and I ate a lot of food. But since Christmas, I've lost 23 pounds. So I've lost nearly 2 stone since Christmas. So I fluctuate quite a lot in weight.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I'll join in there, Creasy. To be honest,
fair play to him, mate. I've seen what he eats, and it looks disgusting.
Yeah. But what you haven't seen is what I eat when I put on the 2 stone.
My man.
Yeah, you sort of go for the Ricky Hatton approach.
Absolutely, mate.
Put it all on and then lose it. Creasy, what would you be up to if you hadn't got behind the wheel?
You don't want to know, mate.
No, we probably don't, do we?
To be fair, I think I'd have liked to have been a professional golfer, to be honest. I got down. Well, I was a professional caddy on the Euro Pro Tour for a couple of years with a guy called Matt Brackley, and when I was caddying for him, I got down to playing off about 7. So I reckon I could have taken it a bit better than that. And I enjoy golf, but I ain't really played since I started racing.
Well, it would be darts for me, I think. Absolutely love darts.
Yeah, that's a good career move.
Yeah, and there's a decent amount of money to be made in that these days. Of course, if you're any good, that is.
Dancing.
Yeah.
Dancing.
I've been to the darts.
Can you give us a little
I've done that
preview
too.
now?
What with the red light on?
Yeah, put the red light on. Give us a little dance.
You said darts.
Oh, darts.
Yeah, it's a darts. Yeah, dartboards. But your wishes might
Darts
be
is
on though,
wicked.
Josh. To
I
be
like
honest.
darts. Darts is
Yeah, I went
Dance
to
is
darts
better.
a few times. I've been to the final a couple of times and all that for the old world darts. Good.
As in the PDC rather than the BDO.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
went to Liverpool, Brighton. They done it down at the centre down in Brighton. That was a good night out.
So essentially, Creasy, anything that just involves gambling and drinking, and you're there.
No comment.
Back to racing then for now then, lads. And racing heroes. Josh, who's yours?
Danny Buxton. That's who. What a guy.
Tom?
Mine's not Danny Buxton. Mine's Jim Clark, actually. It's funny. I've been asked this question so many times. I think every time I've said a different driver. But after giving so many answers over so many years, I've actually decided it is Jim Clark. I think he's probably not going to believe me now, but I've been watching lots of documentaries on him, and I genuinely believe Jim Clark is the best driver of all time, actually.
And Creasy, I mean, we know the answers to your question is Tom
James
Chilton.
Hunt. Oh. No, mine was always has been Senna, to be fair, growing up. But
Me too.
Obviously, just because he's an absolute ledge, and that's where I had 77 from when he done a go-kart race in France. He was number 77, and that's what I went for when I started. But yeah, I mean, it's a toss-up between him and Hunt, because I watched Thingy literally yesterday night. The
Rush movie.
Louder and Hunt. Yeah, it's good.
Oh.
It was good.
Yeah.
And he's a ledge.
He's got some epic stories. You just need to watch Rush the movie. It's great.
Yeah, that's what I watched. Yeah, Rush.
Yeah.
So, however the season pans out, Josh, how do you see it going once you get back in the car?
Obviously, we need to see kind of what happens yet. Like we've said, I'm not sure whether there's going to be a full season. Obviously, I think Alan wants to try and get in 10 weekends. That would be the ideal scenario. It's hurt us a little bit because circuits like Donington, I've always gone really well at. So hopefully we still keep that on the calendar. Thruxton as well. I've had 3 wins on the last 3 visits there. So I want to, hopefully that stays on the calendar because it's a really good points haul for us generally. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be a weird season no matter what for everybody involved across all motorsport. So we're just going to have to see what happens. But I'm really, I'm really confident in the package that we've got. I'm really confident in the team of people. Obviously, Steve Dubman and Bert Taylor have done a great job getting that group of people together. So we just have to, just wait and hold out and see when this passes and go from there. But I am really, really, desperate to get in the car and get back out on circuit because it is, it's for me, it's the one season where I feel like I've got all of everything available and ready to actually have a proper title challenge. Because every other season I've either been new to the team, new to the car. It's been a bit of a mix-up. This will be the first season where I've had a bit of continuity, same team, same car, but obviously we've got this mix-up of the season on hold. So it's made things tough. But like I say, when things get going, I think we're going to be in a really strong position.
Yeah, I agree, Josh. I agree, and I can see you going really well as well. Tom, we know that all you want to do is race cars, but realistically, what do you see happening, even with the season starting?
Like Josh said, I really do hope that we manage to get Donington Park back on the calendar, as we obviously should be there today. It is a fantastic racetrack. I do hope that we can get 10 rounds in. I do think it is possible. And I like the idea which Michael had of us actually potentially taking this year into a little bit of the early season of 2021. So that way we can actually get 10 rounds in, and then we just have a very short break before the start of 2021, which we might be able to push back till later in the year, maybe start next year, end of April, if we do have to use a bit of 2021 for the 2020 season. I think that's a great idea. The problem is going to Snetterton when it's snowing could be quite tricky, or Not Kill even. So we need to, but basically the ones like Not Kill, we need to make sure are not around sort of Christmas time and are at a time of year where it's not going to snow, because as we all know, Scotland is colder than England. I love Not Kill racetrack, and I also hope we have that on the calendar. I've had lots of success there over the years. But, you know, we just don't know what's going to happen. We can sit here and talk about it all day long, but all we can do is hope. I know that as a team, we've put in all the preparation over the winter. We've had fantastic winter testing. We've tested all different types of tyres on the car, had different weights in the car, different springs. We've done the whole lot. The range has been huge over the amount of testing we've done. And I do believe we have improved the speed of the car. And Donington Park, I think, will be a great track for us. Obviously, both me and Josh have won there before in the British Touring cars, and the car's a winning car, and the type of corners on that circuit will really suit our car. So I really hope we can get back there. Thruxton, I know, is very strong for the team last year as well. So I was originally excited when they said we will start the season at round 3 at Thruxton. I thought, great, we can go out the box winning a couple of races. Great way to start, but that's not happening at the moment. So another circuit which I hope we get back to. You know, last year we raced there twice. This year we were planning on racing at Silverstone twice, but the beauty about Silverstone is it's not actually the same circuit twice because they've got 2 different layouts. So I think that's a really smart idea by Linkau, actually, using the Wing International circuit and then the national circuit.
Yeah, no, agreed, because I think, you know, we've been crying out for that for a long time. Creasy, I suppose, you know, taking on Tom's point about it snowing, if it snows, you'll be okay because you've got snow at the moment.
Yeah, I'll get out there and start practicing. Yeah. I honestly, I'm chomping at the bit, like, to be in a team with Josh and Tom, and been working with them all winter on you know, on the car. Josh has been driver coaching me and getting me better as a driver, and watching the way Tom works with his engineers, and you know, the way he's setting up the car and stuff, and just to be in the mix with these guys, I think it's perfect time for me. You know, my eyes are set on the Jack Sears. It's probably mine to lose, to be fair. I mean, Gunnell and Bobby Thompson, Cole Boardley, you know, they're all going to be there or thereabouts, but you know, I still think the way that we've gone pre-season, it's, you know, we've got to win that trophy, and that's what I want to win. I'll be disappointed if I don't win it. So, but like I say, like, we've got to get the 10 rounds in, and we've got to get it going, you know, as quick as possible. But obviously, everyone's got to be safe and sound. Whether we start that behind closed doors or whatever, we've just got to get back out there racing as soon as, really.
Well, I mean, I think, you know, we could even be heading for a BTC racing 1, 2, 3, which would be excellent. All 3 of you, first, second, and third. What order that's going to be in, I'll let you guys discuss. Lads, thank you very much for your time. Stay safe, stay indoors. That's it for now from the BTC Racing Line. We'll see you next time.
The BTC Racing Line for the fans.